All right, so we have Crystal and Steven here. And what is really cool about having these two on today is they have a place near and dear to my heart. I've been having the opportunity to work with them for the past couple of months, but they have a really, really cool and I would say unique story of betting on themselves and deciding one day that they were going to go all in and start their own cleaning company. And the really cool part is seeing where they're at only not even a year in at this point. So, Crystal, Stephen, thank you guys for being here today. I'm very excited for us to have a chance to talk with you. Just to kind of give some perspective, I've had a chance to, I think, work with Crystal and Stephen probably for the past, I'd say, 2.5, 3 months now. It's gone by pretty quickly. We just got done basically planning for next quarter for what we want the next 3 to 4 months to look like. But I'm going to ask you guys a couple of questions just regarding where you came from, where you guys are currently at, what was the whole point behind starting the company. But if you guys could just do a little bit of an introduction on who you guys are, where you're at, give us just some insight.
Oh, you want to go?
Yes. So we literally had $0 starting this from scratch. We were pretty much broke as a joke.
I had a diesel company, diesel repair company before, and then that took a turn for the worse. So we were definitely looking for something, needed something.
And so we needed something with low overhead. So I decided we didn't even have money for business cards. So I printed up flyers and started walking around the neighborhood. And I got a call that day. And then so Stephen and I started doing cleanings ourselves. And I hated it so much. And then he saw a little bit of the bigger picture. He thought, we could turn this into something. I couldn't see past that. I couldn't see past the everyday cleaning. So I was crying, hating it so much. And then we were to the point where we just needed money and to pay our bills. And so I was telling him he needed to go get a 9-to-5 job. And so he was searching the internet, came across Johnny and Sergio and HSA, and he brought it up to me. And at that time, we didn't have the money to invest, but we just, what do we have to lose? So we financed that. And thankfully we did, because it completely changed our whole life.
Yes.
So within a month, I think maybe
within 3
weeks it just took off. So we got out of the cleaning, which I couldn't even believe. I couldn't wrap my head around that. So he promised me that we were able to get out of the cleaning, and we did. And then now, a couple of months later, we've tripled what we started out at. And now we're in the Accelerator program, and I can't even believe that. And it's insane. So
Yeah, I think we'll talk a little bit about like what that looked like even before. But before we get that far into the story, I really want to just get an idea. Like you had mentioned something, you said this totally changed our life, being able to start your own cleaning business, not be in the cleaning. Like I think for people that are ever watching this, like the idea of something changing somebody's life, what does that look like for you guys?
So we have a 9-year-old son, and just being able to be at home and present in his life is
Mm.
life changing. It's not always just about the money. I mean, being able to pay our bills and everything is huge, but just being able to be present in his life is huge, and that means the most to us. Steven is able, I feel like Steven missed out on his whole younger years because he was so caught up in working and
Mm.
just.
I've always been kind of a workaholic, so it was very easy for me to stay at work, or and really miss a lot of time with my family, and I just I didn't couldn't even see the other side to where I can actually be at home and still be doing my work just as good or better. So it's been definitely life changing for me, for sure.
Yeah, I mean your son's in sports too. You guys go and participate in outside extracurricular activities too, and so that's got to be amazing to be able to actually go to those things. Obviously, you're still busy, but you have the opportunity to be home with your son, to be even together as a family as you guys are working. I kind of want to talk a little bit about that because the reality
Yeah.
is not every single person, especially if this is maybe their first venture into business together, not every couple is just able to step into entrepreneurship, not just as one spouse does it and then the other is supporting, but also stepping into that together. How has that been for you guys, stepping into entrepreneurship together and really developing this product, this business that has been growing and thriving so quickly?
It's been great because we kind of balance each other out. I mean, he handles all the operational things, and I've been able to handle all the customers and the cleaners. And
Yeah.
whenever I have an emotional day where I'm upset, he's able to kind of help bring me up. And I mean, don't get me wrong, we've had days where I want to strangle him and I annoy him so much, but we definitely can work together, and it's cool because I felt like I was a single mom for the past 8 years, and I was telling my mother-in-law it's so nice because I feel like I got my husband back, and
Mm.
we have fun together now, even if we're so stressed out, it's exciting, and we both love a challenge. So it's there's a lot of days where it's very challenging, but at the end of the
Yeah.
day, it's rewarding. And
Yeah, both to have the same goal that we can go after and work towards and set for our future is very good.
yes, and to be able to teach our son what hard work looks like. And it's cute because he's talking about starting his own business, and we're teaching him
Hmm.
what you know just morals and things like that, where he doesn't have to grow up and work for somebody else. He could be his own
Yeah.
boss. So that's what is important to us. So we love that part of it.
That is so cool. And I want to touch on one thing that you had just mentioned, and it was that we really balance each other out in a lot of ways. That's really powerful. I mean, we could talk about that in the sense of like how it's probably helped your guys' marriage in some way with dealing with conflict and all this other stuff. But just from the business perspective, you guys really decided, hey, if we're going to do this, we're going to use our strengths to improve the business and make it flourish, right? And so, Steve, you're totally operational. And Crystal, you are definitely the people person who is boots on the ground, ready to communicate with people. And honestly, really cool part is that now you guys are actually stepping in kind of to a season where that's changing a little bit with delegating work appropriately. Now the main focus is delegating work appropriately and then getting to a point where you're not just inputting data, doing a lot of operations, you're actually looking at what your numbers are telling you and really diagnosing the business and how it can improve. So
Yes.
you guys have, I mean, done an absolute phenomenal job in learning, I would say. I want to touch base on that specific topic because and I'll be the first to say that I talk about you guys all the time for a very specific reason, two very specific reasons. And that's number one, you guys have bet on yourselves, right? And that can be really hard. It's not easy to really say we bet on ourselves and then take action on it, right? A lot of the times it's really scary at the thought of the unknown and what is going to happen if we invest into this thing. And you guys did that. And then on top of that, every single time we get onto a call and I tell you guys to do something, like clockwork, you guys execute on everything that I tell you to do. And you're honest about where you're at and you seek out guidance. And I would contribute that one thing is that you guys are so teachable to a lot of your success outside of the hard work and the determination. You guys are just really, really good at saying, okay, we don't understand this. Let's take this to somebody that does understand it. And then you just execute on it without hesitation. You guys are so good at that, which, in my opinion, has contributed tremendously to your success. I would
so
love to
nice
hear.
about having.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry. I was just gonna say, I think that's what's been so nice and beneficial to us is having you guys, because you guys have the structure and you guys have gone through a lot of the procedures and have made the mistakes that we potentially could have made. So it's been nice to be able to go to you for advice and things like that. So that's been so nice to be able to have you to ask these questions, and that attributes to a lot of our success. So it's been so nice to have you guys as coaches and things like that. So
do you guys mind if we kind of talk about even your the process of you guys getting into Accelerator, like what it took for you guys?
yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Because this is like literally. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Nope. Waiting.
I was going to say that, something that is really inspirational about you guys is that you guys obviously were looked at and it was something that we saw that you guys would be a good fit for Accelerator, first and foremost. But second, you guys literally said, okay, well, we just need to figure out how we're going to make it work. And you guys got a loan from your family to be able to do that. Man, that is like so incredible that you guys were so invested, not in necessarily to Accelerator, but you were invested in yourselves and into your business, that you would do whatever it takes to be able to get there. And I think that everybody who ever gets a chance to hear how your business is going would agree that it was, I would assume, worth it, right?
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, because we were, like I mentioned before, we were in the negative when we first started this, but we saw within such a short amount of time how quickly we were making good amount of money. But I mean, even though we didn't have the money to go into Accelerator right then, because we had our back payments we were still trying to catch up on. We could see that we wanted this. We were eager for this business to succeed, and we could see Stephen could see like the bigger picture here. It's not just like right now. He could see that this business can excel. And so we went to his mom and asked her for a loan. And our family is our biggest supporters. They always have faith in us. And she brought it over to us the next day and was like, here, do what you need to do. And within a couple of days, we were able to get her money back. And I mean, we just, each month we're doing better and better and better. And it's very exciting to see how well our business has grown just within the past couple months. Just since May, if you were to tell me that we would be in the position where we are now a couple months ago, there's no way. Like our friends and our family, like I just, they cannot even believe. We had people doubting us, like just acquaintances, and just kind of like making the joke, like, oh, you guys are scrubbing toilets, you know. Now it's unreal.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I literally, like, my heart starts to race every single time I hear the story, or just even think about where you guys were at and where you're at now. Right? It's this amazing story of hard work, dedication, and belief. And the recipe for success was there, right? Everything that you guys had, you had at the palm of your hands, because you decided to take control, I guess, of your destiny, really, and say, you know what? We're going to build something great. We're not just going to wait and hope that something great falls in our lap. We're going to take control of our destiny and work hard for it. And even better, you guys gained so much more from it. You gained the ability to be home with your son. The finances are, I'm sure, very nice to be able to have at this point. And the cool part that I think maybe only people like us, where we get to work together, we're the ones who know that there's so much more. Like, you guys are only getting started, which is the most wild part. One thing that I think people should know is you guys are incredibly intelligent in the way that you go about business, right? You guys pay your cleaners exceptionally well, yet you guys are still walking away with about 40% profit margins, which are awesome, right? And just because you focus on the P&L sheet and you're focused on optimizing profit margins, you guys are in a much better position than probably the average cleaning business. I don't have to say maybe, you are. You're in a much better position. But
That's
I'm
definitely what is so exciting. That we're not only making money, but we've actually are building a real business. And I think it was something you said too. It's, not we're not building a job. We're actually building a business, and to put the foundation together to be able to see that it'll keep rolling when we can step out of it is definitely very great thing.
You guys have been operating this business for how long now?
Since May 30th.
May.
Yeah, May 30th.
Okay. And it's, what is it? Right now, it's November 14th. So you guys have been in this for a couple of months now, which is just phenomenal. I remember you guys sending me the the text or the Slack message saying that you guys did 100,000 in overall gross revenue within 150 days, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's just
It's
phenomenal.
crazy.
You guys have
Yeah.
leveraged a lot of your skills. You've leveraged relationships, and you have not held back whatsoever. I mean, you guys will get on calls and you'll say, "Man, we're a little bit tired, but we're doing good," which seems to be but
Yeah.
you're in the building process, and so yeah, it's pretty tiring at some point. I really want to get your guys' input and your perspective. How has it been being a business owner outside of the nice freedom that you've had? What are some things that you would uh, give to people? What information would you share with people that are interested in starting either a cleaning business or just a business in general?
Um, uh,
We've definitely, one of the things that we have, we've been thankful for definitely lately, especially with our cleaners, as they are actually coming to us and thanking us about, the work that we are providing to them and their families. And
Being able to bless them with jobs, especially during this economy and
Mm-hmm.
yep, and then to actually be able to perform great cleans for customers, and customers will come back and thank us as well for the service and for the great clean that we provided. So it has definitely been a huge learning, emotional ride, but it's gone fast, but it seems like a lot.
honesty and integrity is huge with us. So if it's that's a huge thing, and I know a lot of customers love that we're always available for them. So I know they really love that, and we just got an amazing VA, and she's very sweet and bubbly, and they love that she can communicate well with them, just like
Mm-hmm.
when I was on the phones. So I think that's big also. Um, but yeah, it's been
You
wild.
guys had a couple of not so great VAs, right? Like it wasn't just, the perfect person showed up one day and you guys just first shot, it was perfect. Can you guys talk? Because I also want people to, because obviously we're talking about a lot of really good stuff. I want people to also hear some of the realness that comes with having a cleaning business or just a business in general. It wasn't just puppies and rainbows and flowers for you guys. There were things that you guys had to endure
Yeah.
as well to be able to get it to where it is today, though we're still really early in the process. But can you walk us through that?
Yes. Yes, we definitely went through two or three VAs, and we knew that they weren't the right fit, and we didn't want to waste too much time. I mean, we trained them, and they just didn't work out. I mean, there was nothing terrible against them, but they just weren't the right fit for us. And then
Mm-hmm.
when we did find the right fit, we just knew she was the one, and we are loving her. And I hope she stays with us for a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've definitely learned a lot from and about people, customers, dealing with good customers, bad customers, um, and then as well as the cleaners. We've had good cleaners, we've had bad cleaners. So um, we've definitely have a good feel of, of the people that can do high quality work. So we've learned a lot.
And learning about different cultures and definitely not taking things personally. Um, Everybody
Mm.
has a different way of communicating. So I've had to learn a lot about people. And so that's new to me because, um, yes, as a business owner, a new business owner, that was definitely a learning experience for me. So
Yeah.
just communication. And Stephen, since he's owned his business, he's dealt with a lot of different cultures and people. And so when I would get yelled at or things like that, I feel like I'm a little not tougher, but I'm able to handle things a little better than I was maybe 2 or 3 months ago. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that was a little bit of learning experience for me.
Yeah. If you were to have somebody in front of you that was thinking about, and again, whether it's a cleaning business or any other type of business, what would you tell somebody if they were to approach you and say, "Hey, Steve and Crystal, I'm thinking about doing this thing. I'm just not sure. I really believe that like this could be something beneficial or fruitful for my life." What would you tell that person that just is not sure if they should bet on themselves?
To If you want it enough, to I would always bet on yourself. Definitely. For me, you know, I knew we could do the work. So it was just finding the right guidance. So I definitely take all the chances. Sometimes they're bad, and sometimes they're good. So
Mm,
it's just life and learning and growing and trying to make the right decision at the time.
that's really good. That's like really, really good. I like specifically what you said is that there are investments that you make that are some good, some not so good. And the reality is if you don't take those chances, how are you ever going to know whether it was a good investment or not? If you sit around and you just don't do anything about it, you will never ever know if it was a good investment or not because there was no investment. It was something that you just,
Right.
said, talked about, and then nothing came out of it, which I don't know. Seems to me is a common trend for a lot of people to just have this imaginary dream in their head of what they want something to be like, but they're never willing to make the investment. And the cool thing about your guys' story is that that's not you. You guys made the investment, you bet on yourselves, you put your brains together and you're like, all right, how do we do this together and do it well? And it's worked out extremely well for you guys. Um, you know, if
Right.
I had to if I had to guess, and this is just for everyone to know, the way that you guys are tracking right now, I would not be surprised if you have $1 million cleaning company a year gross revenue within the next year, which is pretty phenomenal. That's something that not a lot of people could ever say that they did, especially in such a short amount of time. Um, but I think we're gonna kind of close things out. But before we do that, I mean, is there any last anything that you want to say before we close out today?
Just thank you to HSA and Johnny and Sergio and you and the whole team. If it wasn't for you guys and the guidance and the information, um, to just be able to rely on what you guys say and just know that it is the right move and decision, is game changing. So I definitely we're so thankful for HSA and Johnny and Sergio, and just the program that they have put together, and they are giving it out, giving all this information out to where anybody could follow the program and really build an actual business that can run for years and years, not, and it's definitely a big achievement for sure.
Mm. Awesome. Well, guys, it was so nice just getting a chance to sit down and talk with you about this. We always have such a good time when we talk. I think we probably laugh more than we should, but oh well, who's going to complain about that? But again, thank you guys, and we really appreciate your input.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you so much.